Hello everyone. I think it's time for us to start. But before starting, I'd like to discuss how many of you could successfully create the field on the app and visualize any VI of your farm, or for those who couldn't create the field or they're facing some issues, please we can have a short discussion, and in that meantime maybe some other participants can join as well. And I see a couple of faces who didn't attend yesterday's meeting uh, due to the time zone difference. Maybe there was some misunderstanding in communication. So we'll also give them a very short, brief review of what we did yesterday. And after that, we'll also have an interactive quiz session today where we'll, we'll see how much did you understand from yesterday's topic. So, yeah. So, so far, I think around 10 community champions have joined. So, uh, can can someone write me on chat like whether they were if they were absent yesterday? Please can you write me on chat so that we'll see how many participants are there, and then we'll give a short review of yesterday's meeting. I think Peter didn't join yesterday. Likewise, Sonam as well. I think he didn't join yesterday's meeting. So I think there are two participants who, yeah, Sonam was absent yesterday. So what I will do is, Sonam and Peter, I'll give you a very brief walkthrough of what we did yesterday, and then we'll start the quiz session. So as we'll be on the same loop. So I will present yesterday's slide, and I'll give you a very brief presentation on it. Oh, you have gone through the record. That's nice. And what about you, Peter? Did you go through the record as well?
Not really. I could not make it.
So my screen is visible, right? So yesterday we talked briefly about the applications of satellite imagery and the basics of satellite imagery. So what is satellite precision agriculture is it's based on remote sensing technologies where satellite can know about your crop health very far away from Earth. And how do we do that is based on the study of sunlight. So sunlight, whenever it comes to the earth, strikes the surface of the plant, three things can happen. Either they will reflect, observe, and transmit the light source. So based on that interaction, that can be recorded by the satellite and later helps us predict the crop health of any farm around the world every 3 to 5 days. So here you can see the visible reason is the reason which our eyes can see, and there are various other energy source in the light that we can't see through our eyes. So for this process, what we'll do is we'll use two bands of the light source. That is, one is infrared and another is the red band. And based on that band, we will compute the crop health. So here is one example that you can relate is why plant appears green in color is because it reflects mostly green band and it observes red and blue band. So that's why we see the plant as green. Similar to this, to the eye, satellite can also capture the crop health information. So what happens is a healthy plant with a lot of chlorophyll and good cell structure will actively observe the light source in the red band and actively reflect in the NIR band. So based on that, we'll compute the crop health. So the technologies where can't it be applied is in tunnel farming or greenhouse farming because there is a plastic covering on the top. So that's the reason uh, we can't have the proper light interaction in the inside the tunnel farm. So there we can't use. And For very small farms, let's say around 0.5 hectare or less than that, we can't apply satellite technology. And also for rooftops gardens, and the value ranges from NIR minus like ranges from -1 to 1. So this equation, as I told you, it actively observes in red band and actively reflects in the NIR band. So based on this interaction, we get NDVI value, and that represents crop health. So how do we do that is what the result we get is by applying that equation, we get colored map like this. So imagine you have a very, very big farm where you can't monitor every parts of your field because it consumes a lot of time. So in those cases, it can be easily applied. So here you can see the red color represents poor crop health or poor crop performance. Something is there is some problem with the photosynthesis activity. So that can be because of maybe water deficiency, nutrient deficiency, or some disease, pest, or weed infestation. We don't know what exactly it is, but just imagine you get a picture of which areas are performing well and which areas are not performing well. So what our app does is it will guide you to these locations using our compass enabled GPS guidance. And after you reach there, you can press talk to expert feature in our app, where you can click a picture of the damaged crop. So you go here and click a picture of your crop, and then you can send to us that picture. Our team of experts will get back to you within 24 hours with the results, like to say like this is exactly the problem. So that's how our app operates. So this was a quick review, and here you can see this is an example of walnut orchids. So in walnut orchid, what we can see here is these green areas are performing very well. So you don't need to focus your attention towards these areas, while you need to focus your attention to these areas. This might slowly degrade. Right now it's yellowish color, but slowly it can get to red color as well. So you need to pay careful attention to such areas like this, and you can go there, click a picture, and it gives the tentative idea of how strong the plant is, what's the plant vigor like, is it having a water nutrient deficiency or water deficiency. So we can easily identify it through the satellite imagery. So these are the different stages where NDVI tells us different things. As you plant your crop, the NDVI values should over time increase when the plant grows, and it will slowly decrease after the harvest time. So at the beginning of stage, NDVI can help identification of weed infestation, because as you can know, like you usually plant a crop at the same time. You don't usually plant half of your field with rice and come to the farm next month and plant half of the rice. That doesn't happen, right? So you farm within the interval of 1 to 2 days or 3 days at most. So based on that, someone joined, okay, and based on the such interaction, like you have planted all together within the interval of 1 to 2 days. So the crop must have consistent growth throughout the field. So if you find any abnormal values, there might be weed already going to that field. So for example, here it represents green, but this might be through weed infestation as well, because all the areas have consistent data. These areas and these areas have more green, which it shouldn't have been. So that way we can examine for the weeds. And at the mid stage, it helps us understand how the plants grow and develop. Is there any problem? Like if the value is really low, like here, this might be because of lack of moisture or disease or pest or nutrients. It can be many problems. And EVI doesn't necessarily tell you exact problem of the farm. It just tells you that you should focus your attention towards this area. It should focus your attention towards this area and this area. So you can reach there, click a picture and send to us. We'll get back to you with the remedies. And at the end stage, it's used for harvesting. So here you can see it's all green, and slowly after it's getting ready for harvest, it will slowly turn yellow, and then you can know that it's ready for harvest. So here as well, the attention should be focused on these areas, while less attention can be focused on these areas. So it will help us identify, it will help us early identify. Before the problem gets even worse, we can identify it quickly without even going to the farm. For example, you might have a farm very far away from one another. Like here, if imagine it's more far than here, somewhere here. So a farmer will save a lot of time. Why, and doesn't necessarily need to go to every parts of the field. Can focus attention on just this part, this part, this part, as it's growing very pretty well in this area. So it basically saves time and effort and prevents farmers from bearing a huge loss due to lack of early identification of their field. So these are the things that we discussed. So I hope I could explain you well in short time. And we have already spent 11 minutes. So without any further ado, I'd like to hand over to Sion, who is an intern and she looks after project management and communication. She'll guide you through the steps of quiz competition that we'll have now. She'll explain you the game rules as well and the winners, how we'll announce the winners as well. So over to you, Sion.
Hi everyone. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Sion Zacho, and as Mr. Suman said, I'm an intern in project and communication management at City Innovation. So we're gonna have a quick quiz. It will be easy and based on what we know already. I'll put the quiz link on the chat box, and the quiz will have 25 questions, and each question have 30 seconds. And also the top 3 will be rewarded, and the rewards are amazing. So please try to be that this. So use this link, joinmyquest.com, and here's also the code 504245. And if you face any trouble, please try to contact me. I'm here to help you. And tell me when you already been there.
So
does everybody get the quiz?
Everyone got the link. Please check your chat. So please log in to, please use this link, apply joinmyquiz.com in your browser and press the code 504245. So far Yuvraj and Bikram have joined, Sonam joined as well, Obed as well. So as soon as everyone joins, we'll immediately start this session.
Okay. The link is in the chat box.
Yeah,
Please go there and click on it. Joinmyquiz.com.
Can you please repeat the code?
I'm sorry?
The code for the game.
The code for the game is
50. It's also in the chat box. Yeah, 504245.
Thank you.
Hello, hello, Mr. K.R. Srini. I think you just joined today's session, right?
Yes, sir.
Were you present yesterday?
So yesterday some time zone some problem is there, sir.
Okay, so you just missed a very quick review on yesterday's meeting. I just revised all the participants that were not present yesterday with what we did yesterday's event, which was related to introduction to satellite precision agriculture. Now we are moving to a quiz game where we'll be asking 25 questions, Mr. Srini. So you can feel free to join the session. So you can join the session using in your browser. You can just type joinmyquiz.com and then press the code 504245. We have 25 questions, out of which 70% comes from core agriculture background, which you are expert on, and remaining 30% will be based from yesterday's session. So please feel free to join.
Okay. So is everybody joined?
Uh,
Or
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, is there anyone who is left to join? I think Mr. K.R. Srini is left to join. And is there anyone?
Hello, sir.
Uh,
Sir, how to join, sir? And
you,
brochure?
you can in your browser, Mr. Srini,
Ah,
you just type
ah.
joinmyquiz.com.
is there anybody facing a problem?
Is there anyone? Please feel free to ask, because when we start, after starting, no one can join after that. So we're waiting for
Sir,
everyone to join.
where is the, we have to take the Google, where the brochure, sir?
You can just type joinmyquiz.com.
Where have to type, sir? I don't
In
get that.
in browser, in Google Chrome or in any browser.
Okay.
Uh, anything is okay. Google Chrome is okay, or if you have any other Firefox, that's also okay. You just type joinmyquiz.com, and when you type that link, you'll be directed to our page where we are hosting quiz, and just type the code 504245 for accessing the quiz. Did it open, Mr. Srini?
Hmm. You are mute. If you are talking to us, we can't hear you. Please unmute yourself, Mr. Steven.
So, Mr. Srini, can you access the quiz? We'll wait 2 more minutes. After that, we'll start. Mr. Srini, can you unmute and speak to us? We can't hear
Sir,
you.
yeah. So enter code, what is the code I enter?
Code 504245.
Why?
504
Sir, 1, 2,
504
504245.
504, 2,
45.
4, 5.
504245.
So is everybody ready?
I think everyone joined except Mr. Srini. So,
Yes, sir.
so you joined
Yes.
as well?
Uh,
504245.
Yes, sir, I entered the code.
Yeah. I can't still see you here. So,
I have to enter the name, sir.
yeah, you have to enter your name. Please write Srini, because it would be easy for us to evaluate.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So everyone joined. Now I will start the session. Mr. Sweeney, can you mute your mic? I feel there's some disturbance coming. Okay. Please let us know if someone faces any problem. We'll solve it immediately. Hello, PUs. We are currently under the interactive quiz round. Since you joined late, so unfortunately you can't attend the program quiz session because it's already going on. So were you present yesterday, Mr. Pius?
No, sir. Today only I was able to get this link, so I am joining today only, sir.
You just got this link today?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. From my friend, I got it today only. Just now only I got it.
From your friend.
Yes, sir.
That means you were not selected for this round of community champion, right? But
No, sir.
anyways, since you joined, what we can do is we are at the end of the session, so please follow along the session. And after the session ends, we'll provide you with video recordings of both today's sessions, so that way you can enhance your understanding on what we are doing, and you will have continuous support from our team as well. So yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So seven champions have already completed the quiz. Now we are waiting for the remaining ones to complete, and then we'll announce the winners right away.
Sure.
So there are 4 champions remaining for the quiz. 9 champions have already completed. We have finally completed the quiz session. Everyone did pretty amazing. And now I'd like to announce the winners for today's quiz session. The first one is Sumbal. She scored 21,850 points. The second is Yuvraj Khanal. He scored 20,230. And the third person is Bikram Nepali. He scored 16,330 points. So now we will contact these 3 champions, champion of the champions, after this event, and we'll collect your GPO box or any thing that we can deliver the gifts to. So we'll collect that information after this event, and we will deliver the gifts as soon as the COVID situation in Nepal eases a bit, because right now everything is closed. But as soon as everything starts opening up, then we will immediately send you your gifts. And congratulations to Sumbal, Yuvraj, and Bikram for their outstanding performance. That's very amazing. And now we have around 10 to 15 minutes left. So without any further ado, I would like to open for a discussion round. So what I would like to know is how many of the champions could successfully create the field and view the data, view satellite data of your farm using our app. And I would also like to know, for others who couldn't create polygons, what problem are you facing so that we can solve it immediately for you. And for those who could create, fill, and visualize the data as well, what insights did you get? Please give us a walkthrough. Did you add a real field or did you add a dummy field? What insights did you get? So let's open up for a discussion. So any champions who'd like to have their queries answered? Can everyone hear me? So I'd like to start with maybe if someone not answering, then I'd like to ask Faiza. So Faiza, you said you live in Islamabad and you have a field in Faisalabad, right? And you were not able to add that field yesterday. I gave you a short trick that you could apply for adding the field very far away. And there's one good news that maybe after 1 or 2 hours, please go through the Play Store and update PlantSat app, because we have solved the issue that Faiza was facing. Whenever he whenever he identified his field in Faisalabad, it when he pressed create field, it again moved to his original GPS location. So we have solved that issue, and there is a hack behind how you can right now add your field is without identifying your field first. Just press add field first, and then you can move to your field, and then you can create polygon. So there is a hack, but you don't need to apply that. It will be solved within an hour. We have already deployed the changes in our app. It should be ready within 1 or 2 hours. So Faiza, did you face any other issues, or let's discuss on that? Okay, Sumbal, thank you. I'll try again after 1 hour. So Sumbal, did you also face the same issue while adding field? And no, sir. Okay, so you don't have issue, Sumbal, right? And what about you, Bikram? Uh, you said yesterday you faced issue with error in creating field. It was solved after we talked after the event. So did you get time to add any real field or any be it dummy field as well? I'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, actually, thank you, Sumanji. So yesterday I tried using the Facebook account, and it worked well after the using the Facebook account, and I that fence my field near my house, which is where I'm growing Bittergourd currently, and it's so real data. Like it's a good sign of the visualization was clear, and the color pattern was as I expect the color pattern was the same. So that's thank you for the uh, thank you for that one. Thank you.
That's great to hear from Vikram that everything worked well. So yeah, please go ahead and try adding more fields and check what insights you could get. If there's someone in your community that doesn't know about this satellite technology, you can always encourage them and teach them the techniques of or the power of satellite technology, which is completely free to use. So why not take advantage of such apps, right?
Definitely. So most of the people and my neighbor who are living here, they have a house here, but their farm are very far, and this app will definitely help them to monitor their farm from their home. So I will definitely I will. Thank you.
That's great to hear, Vikram. I'm very happy that you you are very much motivated to transfer this knowledge to your community as well. Hats off to you, Vikram. And also, I'd like to hear more stories from you, like how did you feel while using the app, or there are some issues, or there's needs some change that you want that would be very useful for the app. We are very much open for such suggestions, which we will definitely improve. We'll keep improving the app, and we'll take valuable suggestions from all of you. So that's our purpose behind this community champion as well, to get your feedbacks, to teach you the techniques, to make you like to build a stepping stone for you to build a platform to provide you mentorship on such state of art technologies, new technologies. Yeah, so I'd also want to hear stories from other champions as well. So Yuvraj, do you have something to say?
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, I was facing the problem, but it was solved as I was using the outdated version. I uninstalled that and installed a new version. And I also edit the field, it is quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, I was quite confusing that if I am here and how can I add the field of different locations. And I was about to ask you to, and
Mm-hmm.
you already mentioned that the update will be made in few hours, and I am uh, excitedly looking for the change. At the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I added the field near my house where there is maize cultivation, and the maize are in the state of ripening, and they will be harvested very soon. And how can is there any provision of knowing the actual harvest date, and how can we know that I was looking for
Oh,
this answer?
oh, that's a good question, Yuvras. As I mentioned before, like at the end of the season or end stage, which your maize plantation is in, right? So at
Yeah,
the end stage, it's useful to identify the exact harvest time. So how do we do that is when you are checking your field right now, you might see a very green NDVI color, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so they are on the top of their maturity. So as they mature, the NDVI value can't go above one, right? So after the plant or maize matures, the NDVI value will slowly start degrading, slowly starts coming down. As I mentioned in yesterday's presentation, it follows a bell curve, right? So what bell curve does is, maybe I will show you the demo as well. Here I'll show you, I'll present the slides on exactly how you can do it. So here, that's a very good question, Yuvras. I think this would be useful for not only you but all the champions. So here, what NDVI tells us at different stages. So first here, let's suppose here you planted your maize, right? So as the time grows, there's the graph between time and NDVI. So it will slowly with time increase its NDVI value, unless there's some issue like maybe some disease there, then it won't be such trend. This trend follows for only healthy plantation. So a healthy plantation, no matter what it is, will always follow this pattern. So as the time goes by, the NDVI slowly increases and reaches its maturity point. I think now your plantation should be somewhere around this phase. So it will slowly increase, and whenever you don't see your plant having green color in your field, so it will slowly degrade down, and somewhere the value should be somewhere yellowish color. That's the time when it's ready for harvest. So that's how you understand. So for example, here you see so your field might be something like this, right? It's green in color now. So as the time passes and it reaches maturity, the values will slowly start degrading because it's already matured, and the NDVI will degrade after reaching maturity. So you will expect yellowish color on your farms. That's the time when it's ready for harvest. So I think I answered your question well. Is there any confusion, Yuvras?
uh, yeah. Let me send the photos of that maize field, and will you mind explain the process by using that photo?
Yeah. So do you have it right
Okay.
now, or maybe we'll do it after this session? What do you think? Because we are already running out of time. So we'll still be in touch with you continuously, and will help you solve this kind of issues or understand better, because like satellite precision agriculture is a very broad topic to be completed, to be an expert within such a short duration, 45 minutes each day. It's impossible. So how you can develop your expertise is by continuously learning, and whenever in the process you feel some stuck where you are stuck, you can always contact us, and then you will have our guidance and mentorship. So that's the basic thing behind this community champion phase, because as I said yesterday as well, um, every expert was once a beginner, right? So you are in the beginning stage, and I'm pretty much sure you'll be an expert in near future. So, is there any other queries that you would want me to answer? Otherwise, if there is no any questions, then I would want to hand over the stage to Chetana, so where she will be describing you about the next steps that you need to follow. Obed said, is the app free to use? Yeah, it's completely free. There's no cost. It will be always free for farmers. And also, there's a question from kindly share how to download the app because I haven't downloaded yet. So, Peter, what I will do is I will share you the link. Please go through it, and whenever you face any issues, here is the link to download our app, or you can type PlantSat in Google Play Store. Right now, it's only available in Google Play Store, but we are working on publishing it to iOS devices as well. So you have to stay tuned for that. So Peter, you can just type PlantSat in Google Play Store. Then the first app that comes up is our app. And let me check if there is any other questions from anyone in the
Hello.
chat.
Hello.
Yeah, Obed.
Yeah, I've got one question. Actually, I was trying to put the field area inside, and I was unable to do the post analysis on it. So how can I do that?
So you downloaded the app, and then when you created the field, what error message did you get?
Yeah, I put the area, and now after that, there is no error message right now. But I can't see any image with the results showing.
The field creation step was successful, right? So you can see the polygon or the field.
Yeah, I can see the polygon. Yes.
Oh, I understand your case. So what you can do is please press just once on the top of that polygon, and it will slowly pop up another screen that says getting satellite data. So you need to wait for at least 1 to 2 minutes depending on your internet, and then all the dates will be loaded, and after the dates are loaded you can just press on the date once and then it will load.
So, okay. I will try, and if I've got any problem, I will let you know.
Okay, that's great.
Okay, thank you.
Also about Sonam, the app is crashing. It crashed for 2 times in 5 minutes. Sonam, so you downloaded the app today or yesterday?
I've downloaded. Good afternoon, anyways. Firstly, I've downloaded the app yesterday. But I couldn't play around with it. I was just playing today. I've got a couple of things that it's just my suggestions. In your in the app, once I have the field, I have to zoom out and then find my polygon or the marks and the geo shape, and then click on it. Will it not be easier if I have the list of orchids, because I deal with lots of orchids. So once I have my shapes of the orchids, put into a shape. If you can give me a list from where I can select and go to the detail. That's right. Yes.
Yeah, please.
The other one. Generally, I don't know. I think it's a technical thing, but for a couple of weeks, my area was literally very cloudy, so I'm missing lots of information there, and our production is very critical. Like if we miss something in a few times, because the area is quite dry, that would really be too late for us to rectify things. I don't know if there's anything that we can. If the information can be consistent, even if the
cloud cover,
even if it's a cloud cover, right? Like maybe the timing of the water to evaporate, or like if once it has a yellowish patch, then how much it takes to go into a red thing. So these are two things. Other one, it's about the practice now. It seems from what I heard from you in your short review of yesterday, you're really it seems the seed focuses more once the vegetation has already turned into red. So that is more of rectification approach rather than the preventive approach. I don't know if there is anything that can be notified saying that okay, you are getting the critical time now. Your crop, the color is kind of yellowish before even going into a red. So that can at least give us a kind of, once I have shaped it, if there can it can be if there can be a notification or a push message from the app, right? Because the app runs, if I keep my app running continuously in the background, it should collect the data, and if it can give me like information, okay, now there's something, check it, kind of thing. So I'm sorry if it doesn't make sense to you, but
yeah, it totally does actually. Like, it's a good practice, and we are already working on the push notification thing, and it should be ready within a couple of months. And yeah, I totally agree with you that it would be a good feature in the app when there is notification. So when people might not be using the app, they will get notification, and then they can start like, this is yellow and it might slowly turn red, so please focus your attention on specifically this part. So that's a good suggestion, very good suggestion, and we're already in the phase of implementing the push notification. And also about your first queries, like adding field, right, Sonam? You mentioned about adding field, like you have a lot of orchids. For now, what our app supports is you need to manually add the field. And how you can add the field for now is, there's a GPS marker that you see. So first thing, either you can identify your field based on the base map of Mapbox that we have. That's one. Otherwise, you can also go to the field yourself and then identify it and then add the plot manually. But in the case where you have thousands of or many farms that you mentioned, we are also working on multiple upload of the polygons. Right now as well, you can upload multiple polygons at the same time, but it's a kind of tedious process if you have a lot of farms. So we'll have something like a file that you can manually add the GeoJSON. You said like it's a term called GeoJSON, which is the same thing as polygon, and you can add all at once. If you have the right boundaries of your field, then you can immediately upload everything. So we'll communicate you with our developers. That way you can add all your fields as well. And regarding cloud cover, Sonam, it's one of the limitations of satellite remote sensing, especially for passive remote sensing. What I mean by passive and active remote sensing is, a passive remote sensing depends on the reflectance of sunlight, which we are implementing in our project. So it's based on the reflectance from the plants, which was from sunlight, right? So passive remote sensing usually have this limitation of cloud cover because it can't penetrate the cloud. But what we are working on, our team, is we are working on radar and lidar imagery. So this falls under active remote sensing. So what happens with active remote sensing is, the radar signal from the satellite will penetrate all the clouds. So in that case, there is no more the problem or limitation of cloud cover. So we are also working on that. But for now, this is not just the problem in our app, but no one working in satellite imagery can provide satellite imagery, optical one or passive one, when there is a cloud cover. So in a year, you will have a mostly problem during the monsoon season. Monsoon season, there will be less data, but at least what we have in our experience is, even if there is a monsoon season, we will get at least one data every month, at least if there is a cloud cover. So even having one data is very crucial, right, Sonam? So we are still working on how can we eliminate the effects of cloud cover, and it should be ready within the next 6 months. So yeah, the limitation will be over by then. So did I answer all your questions, Sonam, or do you still have any doubt? So
yes, you did. Thank you, La. Thank you.
thank you. And this is not the end of the session. We'll still be in touch with you, and whenever you face any problem, we'll be there 24 hours for all our champions. And Kazim,
Sir,
do you have
my
something
question
to say?
is that fields are updated with Google Map, because feeds are currently feeds are not showing the actual crop.
You mean the base map, the map that you see is not updated, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, that is not updated actually, Kazim, because in order to update it every time, it's very costly, because base maps for all the world, it costs a lot because of the high resolution satellite imagery that you can see there. So what we have done is we have added one very closest base map, but it's not updated real time base map. But whenever you add polygon in the field, that satellite imagery is updated. So you don't need to worry about the base map, but just the data that you see after adding your field, that is updated every 3 to 5 days, but the base map is not updated quite frequently.
Okay. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Hello, Mr. Srini. Yeah.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. I have got one doubt, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, once the crop is harvested, can we suggest the farmer which is the next best crop to plant?
That's a very interesting question, Mr. Srini.
Second question is, sir, in case of irrigation, especially when the rice is cultivated, what is the optimum level of water we have to meet? Can we indicate to the farmer these two things?
So, what is the optimum water required, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, very good questions, Mr. Srini. So, your first question, after you harvest, you mean like farmers can get they can get the recommendation for the next season, right? So,
yes, sir.
Currently, if you are using our app, we don't have that feature yet. But what we are working on is we are modeling the crop recommendation feature as well. So what we are doing is we are trying to get as many agroecological parameters that we can fit in and try to suggest whether which crop would be best recommended for the particular soil type. So as of now, we don't have that feature, but it's very valuable. I have heard this same suggestion from many farmers, and we are very much motivated to add this feature as well. The only thing is it will take a lot of time. Even various organizations, like big organizations in agriculture, they haven't still been able to recommend a crop properly, because there are a lot of parameters associated to it, which brings a lot of uncertainty. So we are working hard on this. Our main objective is not to misguide the farmers, so we are taking time and doing a good research on that, and hopefully within a year or half a year we can have that feature as well. And regarding what is the optimum water required for any type of crop, for that case we don't specify this much numbers. What we specify is our second feature is water use efficiency. What do we do is we calculate plant moisture content from satellite imagery as well. So when there is less moisture, we indicate it through different color combination. So when there is less moisture, we represent in the map, you'll see red. So those areas needs to be watered. So we don't say exact amount, but we say where in your field, let's say your 5 hectares or 10 hectares of field, which areas are suffering from water stress. So that we can tell as of now. So I hope I answered your question. So please go through the second feature as well. First feature, crop performance monitoring, is the NDVI. Second, the water use efficiency is NDWI, normalized difference water index. So it's a same kind of equation but with different bands of image. So we have that feature as well, and please go through that feature, and whenever you face any problem, there is a button, talk to expert. After pressing plus button, there's, you can see talk to experts. So you can add your queries there. It will be answered within 24 hours. Mr. Srini, I hope I answered your question well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
So if there is any other question, we'll take one last question before concluding today's program. So is there any one question? How can drones be of use in this project monitoring technology? Drones are actually a very useful tool. Actually, I did my research back in Japan in drones. What we did was automated fertilizer spraying applications and a lot of applications. It was basically automated system that we built during my MSc program in drones. But what I felt was drones are kind of expensive thing for every farmers to implement, because not every farmers can buy drones, right? So what they can do is with satellite imagery, it's completely free. And so the there are pros and cons of every technology. Drones are best for crop monitoring, but it requires huge cost, high sensor cost. Then there needs to be a lot of sensors there. But with satellite imagery, you just need a mobile phone and everything comes to your phone for free. So that's the important thing here. And how to provide support and expertise in different countries. So we provide our services for every countries. Our app PlantSat can be downloaded in 151 countries globally. So our team of experts, agricultural experts, always answers the question of every farmer. So we don't look into which countries we are getting question from. We answer all the queries despite the country. So we provide support. Basically we communicate with them through talk to expert feature. So yeah, I think, Obed, that question is answered, because we have got different crops and environment in Pakistan. So how do we support is like the NDVI thing, the satellite imagery. It's the same basic principle for all crops. It doesn't look into the countries or the geographical boundaries. It's basically same for every region. And if you have got different crops, it will still absorb, if it's healthy, it will still absorb red wave and reflect infrared wave. So based on that, we'll get the tentative crop performance of your crop. And then when you move to your area, you can click a picture of that crop and tell us which variety it is, and then we will answer your question based on that. So did I answer it well, Obed? Okay, so I think we don't have any more questions. So
I've got one, sir.
Yeah, so please go ahead.
Again, as of now, as you said, like services are free.
Yeah.
But in near future, are you looking for the paid services, or it will remain free forever?
Yeah, it will. Our plan is it will remain free forever for all the farmers, like not all commercial farmers. Like let's say an average farmers who owns, let's say at most 5 hectares, we provide every services for free. But if you have a very big farm, let's say 1,000 hectares of farm, only in those cases we'll charge. We'll not charge for average farmers. It will always remain free to use.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
So if there is no other questions, then I would like to invite Chetana to describe about the next steps, what we are gonna do. So Chetana, over to you.
Thank you, Suman sir. Am I audible?
Yes.
Namaste everyone. My name is Chetna Pukhrel from team. I am a team member of Seed Innovations, and now I would like to mention a few things regarding your future engagement in PlantSat community. First, you need to follow our activities and new features on our social handles. I will email you the link after this event. If you have any problems, you can easily contact our PlantSat community. Easier if you connect with us through Facebook page. we can reach you faster with with the solution that way. I would also like to mention that after or when the coronavirus situation eases up and you get to communicate with the farmers of your contact, we would like to hear about your interactions with them, their queries and questions, and some suggestions regarding the app. Like our team will be available 24 hours for any technical support. Another thing I would like to add is one of the goal of this event is also to recognize one champion of the champions amongst the participants, where we select a participant with the best success story, blogs, creativity, and active involvement in the PlantSat community page. So we will select one champion of the champions every month for the next 6 months and award them with some exciting gift hampers for their outstanding performance in helping bridge the gap between the farmers and the technology. And for those participants curious about the post-event support, yes, we do provide them, which includes mentorship, tutorials, and exciting rewards accordingly. So I would like to suggest you all to stay in touch with our PlantSat community and engage actively. And lastly, thank you all for your participation. Thank you.
Thank you, Chetana, for guiding on the next steps to our champions. So we have finally come to the end of the 2 days event on basics of satellite technology. I hope all the champions found this short session interactive and informative. However, this is not the end of our collaboration. This is just the beginning. We will provide you continuous support, mentorship, as Chetana mentioned, and satellite precision agriculture. Let me tell you, it's a very broad topic, and there are still a lot of things for us to learn. We will provide all the champions continuous support throughout this learning process. I would also like to thank all the champions who, despite of their busy schedule, manage their time for this event. And I would also like to appreciate your proactive engagement in raising important questions for discussion. This proves that you are enthusiastic towards this program, which is very happy to see. Finally, we would also love to stay in touch with all the champions, hear their success stories, and watch them slowly become an expert in the field of precision agriculture. And as a result, we firmly believe that millions of farmers in developing countries shall be rightly benefited from it. Cheers to our commitment in breaking the barriers in agriculture. And finally, thank you all for your valuable time and patience. We at Seed Innovations wish you luck for your future endeavors. Thank you and stay safe. With this, I would like to conclude today's session, and we'll stay in touch. Whenever you have any problems, do hit us with your queries. We'll answer them. And yeah, thank you for joining, everyone.
Sir, one small question, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Piyush.
Sir, I am working in Amrita School of Engineering, Coimbatore, here in India.
Yeah.
So we are doing little bit research in the field of this hyperspectral and other image processing related to agriculture. Mm-hmm. So can we have some collaboration or something between us and your institution?
Yeah, definitely, Piyush. Mr. Piyush, we would be very much happy for any collaboration, and we can even host similar programs at your university virtually to teach them about the basics and to teach them about what applications there are. So we are very happy for such collaboration. Please write us an email, because I think we don't have your email, Mr. Piyush. You can even write it on the chat, so we'll get back to you soon.
I'm giving it now, sir.
Yeah, please. Okay, I got your email. I'll just save it down. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining. It was a very good experience interacting with you, and I'm very happy that I could be of value to teach you this satellite technology. Although I couldn't teach you everything about satellite technology in such a short duration, but I tried my best to simplify the procedure for you. And whenever you have any conclusion, as I said before, please do contact us. So yeah, that's it. Any final comments from any champions?
Sir, it's not a comment, but I just wanted to know if the seed innovation is somehow or any way connected to future generations.
Is connected to, sorry?
Future generations, a graduate program?
It's not connected to a graduate program as of now. We are trying to best provide education or these kind of trainings to everyone based on our own effort. So that was your answer.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so now we'll further stay in touch after this event as well. So yeah, thank you for your valuable time and patience. So yeah, I'd like to conclude the meeting now. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Stay safe and take care. Bye bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.